In 1970, British mathematician John Conway created something strange. The game of life. It's not a game you play, it's a game you watch. You input some starting conditions and then you let it run. No players, no winners, just a handful of rules. Patterns evolve, shift, disappear. Some collapse in seconds, others spiral endlessly. And yet, it all emerges from a few lines of code. So here's the question. If something that simple can create such complex behavior, what happens if we scale it up? What if the universe, our universe, is just another version of Conway's game of life? What if it's running right now? At first, the idea that we're in a simulation sounds absurd, but let's strip it down. How do you know anything is real? You hear things, see things, feel things, but all of that is filtered through one lens. Your brain. Everything you perceive is subjective. It's your personal experience. So what about objective reality? Something that exists no matter what we think? Can you prove it exists? Because here's the catch. You'd have to observe it without observing it, which is impossible. You say it's cold, I say it's hot. Who's right? Maybe both, maybe neither. That's the trap of perception. Babies think things disappear when you cover them with a blanket. They haven't developed object permanence, the understanding that things still exist, even when unseen. But are we really that much different? You assume your car is still in the driveway even when you're not looking at it. But you don't know. You just trust that it is. That's your brain filling in the blanks. Now imagine a simulation. Why render the entire universe at once? Why waste energy simulating galaxies no one's looking at? Video games do this all the time. Areas outside your view don't exist until you turn the camera. Why would a simulated universe be any different? Here's a weird thought. How do you know the people you talk to every day aren't just functions of the simulation? What if all this reality needs to do is convince you it's real? Render just enough. Simulate just enough. Trick just enough neurons in your brain, and you'll never know the difference. If a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't even fall. Maybe it was never rendered in the first place. Let's talk about power. To simulate a universe like ours, you'd need ridiculous amounts of energy. But there's a theoretical solution. Matryoshka brains. Imagine layers of megastructures wrapped around a star, harvesting 100% of its energy. Not just our sun, every star. You'd have limitless computing power, enough to simulate entire realities. And we're already playing with baby versions of this. The Illustrious project runs universe-scale simulations using today's tech. It starts with some simple parameters and just runs, like the game of life, only much bigger. But even with perfect tech, there's still a catch. You can't measure both the position and speed of a particle exactly. That's the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It means no simulation, no matter how advanced, can fully replicate reality without shortcuts. Maybe that's why black holes slow down time. Maybe that's just the simulation struggling to process too much information in one place. Maybe the speed of light is just the frame rate limit of the universe. Crazy? Definitely. But maybe not that crazy. And why haven't we found aliens? Maybe we're alone. Or maybe we're not supposed to find them. Maybe the simulation was only designed for us. Think of deep sea creatures. They don't know we exist. Maybe we're those creatures. Maybe there's a whole other layer of reality we can't even fathom. Near-death experiences often involve people saying time disappeared. They saw their whole life flash before their eyes. They relived other people's pain, other people's memories. It's as if, for a moment, they slipped into a different universe, a different simulation. Ever felt déjà vu? Like you've lived this moment before? Maybe you have. In another version of you, in another layer of the simulation. We think we have free will. But what if every decision you've ever made was already written? What if every possible outcome is already playing out somewhere? Each choice splits off a new simulation, a new branch, a new you. And right now you're watching this version. Machines already outperform us in speed and precision. Microchips run at 2 billion hertz. Your brain, about 200. So what happens when AI gets so smart it simulates minds like ours in milliseconds? What if it already did? And what if we're the result? Math doesn't lie. From atoms to galaxies, everything follows patterns, logic, structure, code. So, are we the base reality, the original universe, or just one copy in a chain of copies? Maybe an alien civilization found Earth's ruins 1 billion years from now, extracted our DNA, and ran a simulation to learn who we were? Maybe that's us. Maybe we're the afterimage of a dead world still playing out inside a machine. And maybe, just maybe, we're still in the game of life.